There is a text box inside OpenAI's advertising tools. It has no rules. Whatever you type into it decides which conversations your advertisement gets to stand inside. Private ones. Somebody working through a decision out loud with something they believe is only listening. OpenAI's advertising policy runs to thousands of words. It governs what an ad is allowed to say, what it may show, which conversations it must never appear inside. It does not mention this box once. The advertisers using it have already worked out what to type in there. Very often, it is the name of a competitor. And as of the 22nd of July, everyone with a credit card can do it. The person on the other side of that conversation gets one small grey word underneath their answer. Sponsored. That is everything they are told. Start with what changed, because the date matters more than it looks. 2 years ago, Sam Altman said he thought of advertising as a last resort. Then in February, OpenAI ran a closed test. A handful of large advertisers, an enormous minimum spend, prices set by hand. It was a pilot, and pilots are reversible. July was not a pilot. On the 22nd, the doors came off. Self-serve sign-up, no minimum spend, any business with a payment method. OpenAI named Best Buy, Lois and Vistaprint among its early advertisers. One detail tells you how the company itself thinks about this product. The ads only appear for people on the free tier and the cheap tier. Pay enough every month and you are not shown any. The subscription is now also the opt-out. And running underneath all the coverage was a single reassurance, repeated so often that it became the story. The ad sits beside the answer. The answer itself is not for sale. No company can pay to have it rival quietly drop from a comparison. That reassurance is true. It is also the wrong thing to be reassured about. Because to understand what an advertiser is buying here, you have to understand that they are not buying words. In search advertising, the unit you buy is a thing somebody typed. You bid on the phrase. Somebody types the phrase, your ad appears. Crude but legible. Everybody involved can see the phrase. ChatGPT does not work like that, and OpenAI did not try to make it. Instead of keywords, advertisers write what the company calls a context hint. OpenAI's own instructions tell advertisers to use that box to describe the conversations, topics, and situations where the product might be relevant. Not single words, descriptive phrases. The way this gets sold is completely benign, and it is worth hearing, because the benign version is real. OpenAI's own advertising partners use examples like this one. Somebody asks ChatGPT for help planning an outfit for a music festival. A clothing brand appears underneath. Nobody is harmed. The ad is arguably useful. Then look at how the agencies who build these campaigns for a living actually teach it. Write the hint from the user's point of view. Describe the problem the user is in. Sit with that instruction for a second, because it is genuinely new. The advertiser is not describing their product. They are not describing a search term. They are writing out a description of a person having a difficult moment, in that person's own words, and submitting it as a purchase order. And OpenAI suggests new advertisers start at around $3 to $5 for every click that comes back. That is the price of standing there. Now go and read the rules. OpenAI's ad policy is not a thin document. It is long, specific, and in places genuinely careful. It lists the kind of conversation an advertiser may never appear beside: grief, self-harm, crisis. It bans entire industries at launch. It says an ad may not make unfounded claims about affiliations or comparisons with other products or companies. It promises review of the advertiser, the creative, and the landing page, and then of whatever the thing ends up sitting. So the ad copy is governed, the image is governed, the landing page is governed, the conversation it lands beside is governed. The box is not. There is no rule about naming another company inside a context hint, not in the ad policy, not in the page that teaches you how to write hints, which OpenAI updated days ago. The word competitor does not appear anywhere in it, neither does the word trademark. And into that silence, an entire practice has already grown. The operator guides now say it outright. Include the competitor if your offer is a credible alternative. They publish templates for it. Describe a team already using a rival product, wondering out loud whether something faster exists. Their work examples name real companies by brand inside the box. Some of them are not even certain it is permitted. One guy lists the handling of competitor brand names in hints among the questions OpenAI has simply never answered. They are advertising clients to do it anyway, because nothing at all is stopping them. Here is why that matters, and it is not complicated. OpenAI is right that you cannot buy the answer. You cannot make ChatGPT drop your rival from a list, but you never need it to. You only need to be standing beside the answer at the exact second somebody asks about your rival. You are forbidden from saying their name in your advertisement. You are free to type it into the box that decides where your advertisement goes. There is a fair objection here, and it deserves a minute. None of this is new. Google settled this exact question 20 years ago in code more than once. Its trademark rules apply to the text of the ad and its visible link, and not to the list of keywords sitting behind it. You have been able to bid on a competitor's name for 2 decades. Nobody calls it a scandal. So OpenAI has drawn a familiar line in a familiar place. Copy is policed. Targeting is not. But look at what has changed on the unpoliced side of that line. In search, the thing you bought was a string of characters somebody had typed into a box on purpose. Public, deliberate, short. You bought a query. In a chat window, you are buying a described state. You are buying the person who has spent an hour arguing with their software. The one who has already explained their budget, their deadline, and the thing that went wrong. Nobody types all of that into a search bar. People type it into ChatGPT constantly because it was built to be told exactly that. And because being told exactly that is what makes it useful. The line is 20 years old. What is sitting on the wrong side of it is not a keyword anymore. 6 months before the platform opened to everybody, a United States senator wrote to Sam Altman about precisely this. The letter warned that advertising inside a chatbot could work on the emotional relationship users build with it and erode their privacy. The platform opened anyway and wider than before. And the person best placed to understand the stakes had already described them himself. Altman has talked about worrying over what people bring to ChatGPT, that they hand it their deepest secrets, the way they would with a doctor or a lawyer. He said it as a worry. Read a second way, it is a description of the inventory. The disclosure everybody points to does work, as far as it goes. The ad is labeled. You can see that somebody paid. What the label cannot tell you is what they paid to know about you. It says sponsored. It does not say which sentence of yours put it there. The answer was never the product. The moment before the answer is the product. The part where you have not decided yet and you say so out loud to something that feels like it is only listening. Every advertising system ever built has bought your attention. This one buys the moment you admitted you did not know what to do. So what happens to a machine designed to be told the truth once the truth is the inventory? Let us know in the comment section below. If you like this video, like, share, subscribe, as we'll see you soon in the next one. Till then, peace out.